Oh, sorry, I was dancing. What's up, everybody? It is a beautiful Thursday. Yes, Thursday, May 7th. I'm sorry we're a few minutes late. We were running a few minutes behind in the green room. We have an amazing show in store for everyone today. The weather is beautiful, even though I hope we have millions of viewers home watching. I hope they're out walking around, socially distancing, watching us remotely from their smartphones. But without further ado, my handsome co-host, and I use the word handsome lightly, Mr. Mike, the head geek, Bloomfield.
I feel like I shouldn't have a superhero thing today with our guest because I'm definitely no superhero.
You are definitely no hero, but the only hero you are is maybe like a chicken palm. But outside of that, we can have fun with you. So what's up? How was everything good?
Yeah, I've been on a webinar for the past hour. For IT community, it was fun. I appreciate that they asked me. Apparently, I'm a hero in the IT world. I don't know what that's like. That's like being the cool kid in tech, but whatever.
It's all right. So our conversation, our 2:00 meeting went well. Some good things happening here. We're dealing, being innovative and creative in quarantine. But I think we should bring on our third co-host.
Which one is that?
Well, we know Todd ain't coming. I think he's hungover, but he didn't drink last night. So let's bring on the lovely Christina. What's up, Chris?
What's up?
Oh.
So, Chris, you finally saw me being professional.
Yeah. Semi-professional in a real life sales call. It's crazy.
It's like seeing a unicorn, right?
It was like I was afraid to talk because I didn't want to cut off the professionalism and he was on a roll.
Did he drop any F-bombs?
I don't know. I don't think so.
We don't even we drop.
I don't even know.
We don't even pick them up.
I mean,
I don't think so. There was no reason to. It was a good call.
It's a good call. But I'm just sharing the pages, guys. Give me a second. I'm sorry to run a few minutes late. So our guest today for Midday with Moss is a friend I met. I guess probably in the early '90s in IS 34. Someone I went to school with throughout intermediate and high school. And you lose touch with people after a while. But one of the beautiful things about technology, and as much as we complain about Facebook and Instagram and how annoying it is the fact that people that you obviously, you graduate, you get on, who gets married, who moves on with their lives. And then one day you're scrolling through Facebook and oh my God, there's a kid I went to school with. There's a girl I went to school with. And I've been following this gentleman for a couple of years now. And we lost touch. I mean, intermediate school, high school was, almost, I feel like it was a blink of an eye ago, but, and to see what he's did with his life and turned into, I'm honored to say that I know him. We hung out and, we have a lot of great mutual friends. One of his closest friends is another kid from the neighborhood I grew up with, Nick Cicchini. Without further ado, I want to bring on my very close friend, Chris Sada. What's up, brother?
What's up?
How are you? How's everything going? Thank you so much for coming, Chris. It's crazy. Like one day I was scrolling through Facebook and then you are in uniform and I'm like, what is he doing with himself? And started following you. I'm like, wow, proud to call you a friend. And obviously thank you for everything you do for our country, which is the greatest country in the world. Let me just turn around.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
I got to say, that was some intro. I think that is the longest, best intro Moss has ever given.
I'm honored.
Chris, I told you they're going to make fun of me, but the more he's like, well, what do you guys talk about? I said, don't worry, it always ends up with everyone making fun of me, so we'll be fine. It's just going to be high school all over again. So, Chris, obviously, we want to respect, who you are, what you do, but if you could tell us a little bit about, what you can and cannot say, we want to obviously respect the security of the country and yourself.
Well, I've been active duty Air Force for about 18 and a half years now. Joined when I was 21, right after September 11th. I joined. I signed up about 10 days after September 11th. I want to go defend my country. So here we are today. I'm deployed right now. I can't say where I'm deployed to, but this is my 8th deployment. I'm well over 2,000 days deployed. I've been to, all over the country. Job-wise, what do I do? I'm military police for layman's terms, security forces. But my specialty is I'm kind of like an air marshal, so I fly all around the world, and I protect people and planes in all basically wherever the Air Force deems that I need to protect them. And that's basically the gist of what I do.
Pretty cool. So you've seen a lot of crazy stuff, needless to say, but it's crazy. You said, so one of the reasons why you enlisted was because of 9/11?
Yeah. So I actually used to work in the trade centers. I used to work for New York Van Lines, which had a contract with Credit Suisse First Boston. And I drove a truck. We moved office furniture. So we had contracts all over the city, and I would be in the trade centers like 2-3 times a week easily. And I was actually supposed to deliver a desk on September 11th in the morning, and I called out of work sick that day because I had tickets to the Yankee game. My boy Mike Carnamola, we were at Monday Night Football the night before watching the Giants, and he was like, "Yeah, I got tickets to the game tomorrow. You want to go?" And I was like, "Yeah, but I always worked overtime." So I called out of work sick, and September 11th happened. And I felt like a little bit of guilt because I felt like I should have been there. So 10 days later, I signed up. And here I am almost 19 years later.
Well, that's so for me, obviously, we've been following each other. The 9/11 card hits home big time for me. Obviously my father-in-law was a fireman off that day, responded. And so many of our friends, so many of our families, joined the military post 9/11. It was probably September 12th, 2001. For me, at least, I think, and I didn't meet my wife until I knew who she was. She knew who I was. But driving around Staten Island on September 12th, September 13th, the American flags everywhere, the pride of who we were, or who we are, was second to none. And so many people had a career change. Any regrets?
None whatsoever. And I always think back to remember seeing all the memorials around the city and stuff. In Brooklyn, Manhattan, all the murals and everything like that. And days afterwards, with people putting out flowers and everything like that. Every year I relive it, and I don't know. I'd have to sit here and think, but I don't remember how many September 11th anniversaries I was outside of the country for it. And I get reminded every year of why I joined. And every year I think back about everybody back home and realize that, this thing that I'm doing, it's bigger than me. And I'm not doing it for myself. I'm doing it for all my New Yorkers. And I'm going to do it until they tell me I can't do it no more.
It's amazing.
That's it. The military, the police, fire department, it's a brotherhood. And I mean, we don't want to be selfish. There are obviously, ladies there, but it's a bond.
Yeah. The camaraderie.
It's second to none. I mean, yeah. Chris, you are married. You have 1 or 2 children.
Yep. So been married for 17 years to my beautiful wife, Danielle. And I got 2 boys. Christopher's my oldest. He's 16. And then my little one's 8. So
16.
Yeah.
I just did the math in my head. That was you were quick.
Yeah,
But
what did Sonny say in Bronx Tale? You only get 3 great women in your life. I only had 1. That's all I needed.
Does Chris know that you feel that wives should be trading at 20 years?
Well, I have a couple of different, Chris. I got a couple of different models. I mean, respectfully, he is deployed. Okay. His wife is home with the children. So maybe his situation may be a little bit different. But for me, I think marriage is like a city job. Maybe you got to get out in 20. And if not, it's maybe like a car lease. Every 3 years, you can either upgrade, downgrade, trade it in for a better model, downgrade. I mean, depending on what's going on.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing that you got to think about is every time you have a kid, you sign a new 18-year lease because child support's the kicker.
This is true. So I got at least another 11 in me. But 100%. But it's crazy. With everything going on now. What is the situation? Obviously, we're not going to say where you are, but obviously, you know what's going on in the tri-state area. But what is the situation abroad? I mean, is it as crazy with the masks and all that stuff, or PPE? Give us a little bit of what's going on.
So, as vague as I could talk, we're taking all the same precautions as everybody back home. Social distancing, face masks, gyms are closed, food facilities are to go only, limited people allowed into certain areas where we would go shopping and stuff like that. And that's basically it. When we work common areas, we got to wipe down and stuff like that. So we're taking all the same precautions because the mission never ends, so we have to do what we do every day, but we have to do it carefully.
Understood. Now, you see back home, like people like myself, obviously I'm in the last phase, but I think it's important, a message that we need to get out there, that being in the military is it's a very, very dangerous job. But, for someone out there that maybe a high school senior that's graduating, he or she may not, with graduation's right around the block, what am I going to do with myself? Let's face it, getting a governmental job, a city job, they're actually saying they make furlough city workers. I don't know to what extent that is. I didn't read the whole thing, but, military is a career, a respectful career. And, you could be a family person. I mean, obviously, it's a lot more dangerous than sitting behind a keyboard, even though Mike probably says the keyboard thing is very dangerous for him.
What if the keyboard falls on my foot? That'll hurt.
You'll figure it out.
Steel toe boots.
Solutions. The guy's got solutions.
Yeah, steel toe boots, wear elbow pads, knee pads, a helmet.
I could get carpal tunnel, that hurt.
I have that.
But this is a serious thing that, getting a job, a career. I hate the word job. A job is something you do when you're kind of hanging around. A career in the military is something that maybe some of these kids graduating high school should really think about. That you're serving your country. You pretty much will always have a job. I think fair to say, Chris. I mean, outside of doing something wrong, you really can't get fired. Correct? He froze.
Is he froze? You get discharged.
So we have the UCMJ, right? So the UCMJ usually follows regular law, and that's basically the only way to get fired. I swear by this. It's the best decision I ever made. One thing, so military is also doing it, like non-essential workers. They're working from home. Like if you have an office job, there's no getting furloughed in the military. You're going to get your paycheck. It doesn't matter what the economy's doing. It doesn't matter. You don't have to wake up and pop out of bed and worry about if you have a job in the morning. You're going to always have work. And past that, what job pays you to travel the world? What job gives you benefits for free? Health, dental, anything, with your family covered. When I'm 41 years old, I can retire, right? So in basically a little bit over a year and a half, I'll be able to retire. At 41 years old, I'll have a check the rest of my life. I'll be covered medically the rest of my life.
And you deserve it.
Now, will you retire?
Well, I'm going to go as long as they'll let me. So if I get one more stripe right now, I'll be able to go to 24 years. So I'll probably wind up doing 24 years.
Chris, are you allowed to tell us your rank and where you are in the?
Yeah, I'm tech sergeant at E6, so I'm a non-commissioned officer. I'm like middle management. So I'm the middleman between the people that tell you what to do and the people who listen.
Mike, you don't listen to nobody, so you be bad at this.
Yeah. Well, you don't have a choice in the military. I mean, you do have a choice, right? So.
And now, in terms of like active duty, how are we in the military? Are they need people to enlist, or are they pretty much where they need to be?
So it it all depends on year to year, and what's going on. Right now, under this administration, the military has been as strong as it has been in a very long time, just because of what they concentrate on, like the defense budget. But I've seen a steady influx of the young generation enlisting, and we just need them to keep joining to give that everlasting life cycle of out with the old, in with the new, because these young kids, man, they're innovative and they're smart and they bring a lot to the table.
So we were talking earlier, obviously Staten Island Country Donuts over on Richmond Avenue. There's the military, which where you go,
There's
what's
a
it called? Recruitment center. And they have special forces and they have the guy on the keyboard. Do you consider the guys on the keyboard? Are they you look down at us guys on the man on the in the chair?
Not at all. Not at all. So the military has become very enamored with technology, and that it's a very advanced force these days. And that guy sitting behind the keyboard is just as important than the guy sitting behind a rifle. So everybody plays their part, and it's a full team effort. There wouldn't be a job in the military if it didn't have meaning. You know, every job is there for a reason.
Now, are there, the guys controlling drones and doing this thing? I don't know how much you could talk. Are they overseas, or do they have people controlling drones and almost being involved from within the United States? Like, are there people controlling a drone that's in Iraq from here?
I can't say that.
Okay.
So I got a little thing that I always tell my guys when they ask me a question. I say GTS, right? Google that.
Actually, so there's a website called Let Me Google That for You, and
so Chris, one of my favorite shows on TV is SEAL Team. Realistic or not realistic?
So I haven't watched that show yet. We're very limited to what channels we have out here. We have the Armed Forces Network. It's AFN. We don't have like regular cable that you guys got. So I think I have like a 5-channel decision, 2 are sports, 2 are movies, and 2 are news, I think.
That's terrible. How could you have 5? Do you have Netflix?
Yeah, I got Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime. I got all that stuff.
Tiger King, did you watch it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, God, I thought you were my friend. How could you watch Tiger King?
Hey, you'll be surprised what you watch when you have hours and hours and hours sitting in your room waiting for the next mission, and you're like clicking through, and you're like, all right. I even got the WWE Network, and I'm going back and watching all the old WrestleManias.
Right. Christina actually was a professional wrestler.
Yeah, for a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, for a little bit.
That's awesome.
Don't piss her off. She's pretty tough.
I would love to see Christina just body slam Bloomy. Boom! Yeah, that's crazy. 5 channels. Yeah, I would.
They have Netflix and Hulu, so they're okay.
Like 5 or 6 channels. I don't even know. We barely watch it. I mean, it's on right now. They're playing the 30 for 30 on ESPN with the Fab Five. That's a good one.
In the Air Force, right? For your meals, do you get to pick your meals, or there's like a cafeteria and then it's basically what they serve?
Yeah. So and we call it the chow hall, right? The Air Force calls it the chow hall. The Navy calls it the galley. I don't even know what the Army calls it. But so what they usually do is they have like multiple lines with different selections. They'll have like a healthy section, and they'll have like a burger and hot dog and grilled cheese section, and then they'll have like a fried food section.
So it's like a buffet. This is amazing.
Yeah. So like right now, because of like everything going on, like we're not allowed to touch anything. So they have all stations set up and people are serving you food and stuff like that. But they usually have like, certain days of like, surf and turf will have like steak and lobster or steak and crab legs, and other days they'll have like Taco Tuesday and stuff like that. So they'll have themed days, But then they'll also have like the grill where you can get your grilled chicken and stuff like that.
That's awesome. Now, will they ever do breakfast at dinner time?
Actually, so we have like a midnight meal.
You're sick.
And they usually do like breakfast at night.
Yes.
But that's for midnight.
but that's
That's
really
later
good.
on at the night.
But that's really good on steak night because all the steaks that are left over from dinner, they serve them at midnight meal, so you get some steak and eggs, and then
Okay.
yeah.
So they serve breakfast at midnight, which I'm acceptable with. After 10 p.m., we can have breakfast, but they will not serve breakfast at a dinner meal. Correct?
Actually, 2 times since I've been out here for a dinner meal, they served breakfast. Yes, they did.
So you see,
yeah,
see, Chris, Mike, he's very, very adamant about what he eats, and he just like eggs Benedict for dinner is just not going to work for him. And so, but if the military's does it every once in a while. Bloomy, you may have to change with the times.
All right, let's be honest. He's done it twice in
Mike, you have
18
kids,
years.
though?
I'm in. What's
Do you have
that?
kids though?
I do.
And you never give them breakfast for dinner?
Oh, my daughter eats eggs pretty much constantly, but I won't do it. I'll make her eggs, and that's it.
Chris,
Okay.
He's a big boy. We need. He didn't get that way picking berries, and he eats. And as a former Husky person, I can tell you that, he's a steak guy.
Yeah.
I'm not talking a filet mignon. I'm talking more like a tomahawk.
Maybe 2.
Maybe 2. You guys, so I know that obviously post 9/11 we got involved a lot with sending supplies. I mean, do people, do soldiers, do our boys or girls abroad, do they need anything that we can put out there to our viewers? Maybe care packages. I mean, I know it's probably died off a little bit, but the military. I remember like 2000. I mean, we were early in this. 2006, 2007, when we were constantly deployment. I remember the advance about silly string, and you could, I don't know if you could agree or disagree, or you could say anything. Our military needs silly string, and I'm like, when I started Googling, they said the guys that are kicking indoors, they would spray it through a doorway, and if it hung over, that means the door had a bomb or whatever on the other side. And I'm like, our military is not providing our. And I remember being in the DJ business, we had a silly string guy. Yes, Mike, I had a guy. I know I cut you already. And I sent like 5,000 cases of silly string to the Middle East, and it was like I felt good about it. I felt like like it was the right thing to do. But is there still a need?
Here's the thing: you felt good about that. And then there was some guy on the other end that got this 5,000 silly strings. Like, oh, this guy is the idiot that read that post on the internet and thought we're using this to detect bombs. Thanks.
So, Chris, did I do the right thing or no?
Hey, you saw a need, you filled it. If it was true or not, who knows? But you gave it to him, right? At the end of the day, they might have had just fun with it and just prank somebody. So
that's okay. That annoyed me, and the other post was off pest repellent, and I was like, really? So,
oh my God, talking about pests. Yesterday, I saw 2 camel spiders when I was at work. Do you know what a camel spider is?
Oh my God, those are the worst.
Do you know what a GTS?
Oh my God,
I did. Those are those
before.
I'm pulling one up. Hold on.
Camel
I don't know.
Ooh. So.
Are they really as big as they look?
It's starting to get warm out, right? So they're babies, and the babies are like this big, right? They grow to like a foot long. They crawl underneath the camel. They jump up in the stomach.
Oh my God, that cannot be real. That's really that big.
Is that really how big they are?
Yes.
What? That's like an animal. That's not an insect anymore.
Christina, if you saw that, I would run like. That would be.
Those are like the things in Cloverfield that like spawn off the giant alien.
I was wearing
that attacked the city
worth of gear yesterday, and I was ready to shoot it.
Are you allowed to shoot them?
You have to shoot that.
No, you're not allowed to shoot them.
Do it anyway.
You can't like just take an M16 and put a whole clip into them.
So it's crazy because like it was at nighttime. I had some night vision goggles on, and the moon was just bright enough with my other eye that wasn't behind the night vision goggles. I saw like this blur walking past me. I looked down, and there it was. It walked like right behind me, like somebody trying to get on the train in the city, like get out of my way, you know. And I'm just like, oh my god.
And
And
they
you just
bite,
let it
right?
go?
I ran from it. I wasn't trying to ask him how his day was going.
I would have stepped on it.
And don't they bite, don't they?
Yeah, but I don't know. So man, I've been seeing these guys for a very long time, and they actually do chase you. I got chased by one.
Oh my!
Yeah. So did this guy.
You want
Look at
you
these.
you want to hear the story about me getting chased by one?
Of course.
Oh, God.
All right, so it was in 2005 when I was in Iraq, and I was standing at a gate, right? And we had sandbags in front of us. And one of the sandbags had a hole. So, like, 8 hours into my 16-hour shift, out of nowhere, some sand just starts falling out of this hole. And out crawls this big camel spider. So I immediately scream, right? And the guy I'm working with grabs the fire extinguisher as this thing is chasing me, and he sprays it with the fire extinguisher. So I can't see it. We're freaking out now because we can't see it. So thank God it was windy, and the wind took the fire extinguisher smoke away. And the thing was sitting right there because I think we kind of like smoked it out a little bit with the fire extinguisher.
Yeah.
And the guy I was posted with steps on it and drags his foot. And then like hundreds of little babies crawled off of it.
Oh,
seriously?
I want to go home.
Oh my god, that's enough to give me nightmares for like the rest of my life.
Think about this.
Yeah.
You got people like out there, like they're trying to take you out. And imagine.
That's what takes you. That would be what takes me out. I would have a heart attack.
Bullet whizzing by. You're like, yeah, that's not a problem. That's good. We're good. You see the spider, you're like, I'm out.
I run if there's a bumblebee by me. Are you kidding me?
So,
yeah,
no
I
way.
saw 2 yesterday. 2.
So I know we're talking about that. Can you tell us any crazy stories or anything, or you're not allowed? If you can't, you can. I respect it. Just,
Right. Let's keep with the insect.
Yeah, no, I can't.
We don't want to get him kicked out.
Yeah. What else type of creepy crawlers do you guys have out there?
There's scorpions, centipedes,
Everything that could kill you.
Just the usual.
Basically, all your worst nightmares live here. And
he goes out with night vision goggles and black light, and you're like, oh my God, get me back home.
Yeah.
And this is why I don't leave the country.
You don't even leave your Chris. So let's talk about this. So Mike has not left his room in 8 weeks. 8 weeks. He's scared of corona.
Okay. I leave the room. I am respecting social distancing as I was asked to.
Okay, if you say so, bud. You say so. Chris, how's the wife, the kids? Everyone's doing good?
Yeah, they're doing really good. They actually they took a little road trip down to Florida. So my wife's sister, my sister-in-law, she's pregnant with 2 toddlers. And she just basically went down there and just to help her out because her husband's an airline pilot and he's still flying during this. So she just wanted to go be with family. And I'm all about her going to see her family while I'm gone instead of just sitting in the house doing nothing. Yeah. But the boys are loving it. My oldest wakes up at like 5 o'clock in the morning to play video games until his mom wakes up. So he could get some video games in before he has to start his schoolwork. But he's getting robbed out of his high school days because he's taking high school online,
Yeah, that's
well. He made the baseball team, and baseball was just about to start the preseason, and then it got canceled.
You play baseball? I remember you playing hockey, but not baseball.
Yeah, I played baseball until I didn't have good enough grades to stay on the team. So I made varsity hockey and baseball my freshman year, and so I never got kicked off of hockey because hockey was a club, and our parents paid a lot of money to put us on that ice. So they were like,
yep.
"Yeah, try to kick me off the team." My parents just gave you like $4,000 to play these games,
But
hockey I missed playing hockey in like high school, but that was the worst. You had to pay for it. You had to buy all the equipment, and the only time you got ice time was like 5, 6 in the morning.
I wouldn't take any of those days back. So we played Thompsonville varsity. We had 2 practices a week. Then we played 2 games a week, and then on Saturday and Sunday we played the Jersey League. And so I was skating like 6 days a week. So I was pretty skinny at the time because no matter what I ate, I just skated it off that day.
Nick Sakiti's talking. He goes, "That's why we were good." Haha.
Yeah,
Sakiti was a ball.
How do I see the chats? I don't technology good.
You should have on your thing. There's one that says private chat and one says comments.
Well, you got to start, Chris. Are you on the phone or you on the computer?
I'm on my phone.
Oh, if I pull it up like that, do you see it?
Do you see that?
I only see it pop up, but it's all right. Don't worry about it. I see Nick commenting. What's up, bro?
I mean, Nick Sakiti was a ball player. He played good hockey.
Can they see the video? Do they see the video?
Yes.
So, Nick's been my best friend basically since the 4th grade, and his dad was like a second dad to me.
Big Earn.
And his father had passed away from cancer, and when that happened, his mother gave this to him, this Italian horn, and his ashes are in here, and he gave this to me right before I deployed to keep me safe. So I'd never take this off. I always had this around me for good luck and for safekeeping, and I just wanted him to see that I never take it off. I don't just put it on when he FaceTimes me.
Oh, nice.
Big Earn. Big Earn was the best. I mean, I remember Nicky's father. He was a piece of bread. Big guy, Big Earn. But I mean,
yeah,
he was. You saw him coming. I mean, his hands were like this. I mean, if he got those mitts together, but
yeah.
So that's the cornuto. That's the Italian horn. That's the lucky horn.
Yep.
But that's good people. I love Nicky, and Nicky's the type of kid. I actually called Nick a couple days before, a day or 2 before I reached out to you. I said, I started doing this thing. He goes, yeah, I watch you. You guys are fucking shot. And I said, yeah, I know. And I at 100 miles an hour all day long, and it's I'm like, we're just looking for just different people. I said, you think I could reach out to Sadis? You think he would come on? He goes, reach out to him. Like, I feel stupid, just like I haven't spoken to him in a while, this and that. And then that's when I reached out to you. Nick brokered the deal on the back end, while he's sitting around.
I'll give him 10% of what I get, which is nothing, but it's still something,
10%
Wait, we're getting paid for this?
Chris, we've been so bored that yesterday's afternoon episode was our 100th episode. Think about how much time we have on our hands. That we've done this 100 times. This is a 101. This is 103 now.
Not only yesterday afternoon we had our 100th episode. We have a night show at 10 p.m. Our night show went for 3.5 hours.
Your 10 o'clock night show will be tomorrow morning for me.
So you could probably watch us because we'll be back on, and it goes for a few hours.
Shots? Did you take shots for your 100th episode?
No, it was in the middle of the day.
Okay.
Oh, he probably drank. He drinks at 3 all the time.
I only drink a handful. I don't drink much, but when I do drink, it's either Macallan Scotch, Blue Moons, or my wine.
Flagship. You gotta give a call out to Flagship.
I'm sorry, Flagship. I love Blue Moon. I love my Flagship. The IPA, the IPA, great. I wonder if we get Flagship. I love you too, Nicky. I wonder if we get Flagship to deliver.
Love you, bro.
Can they send can they send alcohol to you from the States?
Absolutely not. No, we're not allowed to drink out here.
All right, we're gonna
now is that dependent on where you're deployed?
Yeah, so there's certain locations that allow 3 drinks a day, and like locations where I'm at right now, we're under strict orders that we're not allowed to drink.
It's probably also depending on what you do, right? If you're,
no. So everybody here, there's no alcohol. This is dry. This whole country's dry.
Oh, okay.
The military.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Right. They have to you have to respect whatever the country is.
Oh no, it's not. It basically comes down to the mission that you're doing and the location you're at and all the deciding factors of safety and everything like that.
Right, because on a moment's notice, in the middle of the night, something could go off and it's time to go.
Yes.
And it probably isn't good if the military's all drunk. But
Well,
I did
I
see
mean-
Three Kings, and that was a good
I mean,
movie,
if
and I
you're
think
seeing
they
two
were
of
drunk.
everybody, just make sure you just shoot everybody, I guess, right?
What's your favorite military movie?
Oh man. Favorite military movie. I like Band of Brothers, so it's the series.
Yep.
Band of Brothers is great.
You know, that's one I never watched. I own it and never watched it. I have to.
Really?
I've watched that 3 times.
And Tom Hanks was the producer, right? Director, producer, I think.
I'm not too sure about that, but what I really liked was so it's all based on actual events that happened, and at the time that it was filmed, the people who they were telling the story about were still alive, and they would interview them before the show, show them interviewing before the episode, and talk about what the episode's about to be about. So
Yeah, I gotta watch it.
Yeah, and then there's another show. I believe it was on. I think it was on Hulu, and it may have been Netflix. It was on either one of those, and it's called Medal of Honor, and it's the true stories about people, what they did to deserve their Medal of Honor. That's a really cool show, especially the ones that were like the newer ones about Iraq and stuff, and Afghanistan. Great watch, definitely a great watch.
Medal of Honor. What should I watch first, Medal of Honor or Band of Brothers?
It depends how much time you got.
He's got nothing but time.
I apparently that's not true. You would think I have nothing but time, but I'm on Facebook Live for 8 hours a day that I have no time.
Well,
yeah, definitely take a look see at Band of Brothers. That's
and yeah, Band of Brothers was executive produced by Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks.
Yeah, Vin Diesel was in it. There's a lot of good people in it.
Brody from Homeland was in it, right?
I believe so.
I love Brody.
Yeah. He plays the lieutenant that he gets all the way field promoted, I think, up to major.
that's pretty cool. I mean, you know, I think about, you there, and like think about, like I'm a little bit of a history buff, and I watch a lot of History Channel, but you're around the world. You're halfway around the world, and like we're talking to you, and it's pretty cool. Technology, for as much as we want to mother F this quarantine and all this crazy stuff, we have to be thankful, for people like Mike that have been able to allow us to connect, because, you're a geek and that's what you do. You help us with the technology. I mean, I'm not being rude. I'm just, Chris, a very important question. When you were home, did you ever get a red light ticket?
I have gotten a red light ticket in the past.
Oh, and you get it mailed to your house?
Yeah.
I just want, when you come home,
Boss? Where'd he go? I don't know what happened to him.
of course, takes me right
What
out.
happened?
So Mike is the guy that perfected every one of us to get red light tickets. So maybe when you and your friends come home, I give you his address and you make him disappear. A lot of holes. A lot of holes.
I know Chris's weakness. I'll just purchase a camel spider to protect my house.
Yeah, if you live to throw it at me.
Don't worry. I don't think I run from real spiders. I asked my daughter to kill them, so there's definitely no camel spider.
But Chris, is there anything you guys need out there? Can we? I feel like you gave us some time today. Obviously you got to be up in a couple hours because of the time difference. We could send them steaks.
Can you send a steak?
Yeah, Vinny, I appreciate that. If they stay good, yeah.
How come?
Yeah, by the time they go through customs and military, I don't think they'll be good anymore.
We probably could. This would be interesting.
Probably not. Probably not. And we don't even have any. We don't have a grill. Knock on the door of the chow hall. Can you use a grill?
Yeah.
My friends from New York sent me STK Steakhouse. Any possibility I could get this cooked?
But is there something we like? What you guys need? Anything?
Well,
you just send just to just so you can
So, with what my guys do out here, we go out on missions and we're gone for anywhere between like 8 to 12, 14 hours. There's no way of getting food when we're on the road, so we like to have some snacks. So you know, whatever you could think of, sunflower seeds, whatever, you know.
How many people?
snacks that
How many people are directly in your team or group or?
we have? Well, a bunch just went home, so I say we have about 16 people.
Can you get a list of everything they want, Mike? We'll take care of this. We'll send them whatever they need.
Mm-hmm.
We got this. So put a list together of whatever they need. You know, and you know we got it. If it's, you know,
How do you mail it? Do you do just regular post
I'll
office
send you
mails
our
to them?
address. Yeah, it's a certain address. It's even though you put that address and it's overseas, it's actually
It doesn't
considered a
actually go
stateside
there.
Address. Yeah,
It's a proxy.
it gets rerouted through one central location, and then they mail everything out together.
Mike, do
That
you
makes
want to
sense.
go? We're going on a road trip. We'll take the partners in Sound Jet. We'll go.
Yeah, let's do it. We
You
don't even know where he is. We'll just fly over. We'll call his name. Eventually, we'll find him.
You
Yeah, I'll
won't
send
even-
up smoke signals.
you won't even
Just
leave
use a
your
fire extinguisher.
You want to go to a hostile country, but you won't even leave your house.
I wouldn't go to a hostile country. I would never go to the Middle East. When we don't even know where he is. He could be even somewhere worse. I don't even know.
He might be in Area 51.
He could be. That'd be pretty cool. That I would go to.
We even know he's in on it. He may be actually hiding underneath your house, looking to get you with the camel
Right.
spike.
He might be home. That could be just a background, a green screen.
Turn
We don't
around
even
and
know.
open up your door. I got a surprise for you.
You saw it. That's great. Oh my God, man! But you can definitely put a list together. We got you.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get a big box. We'll put Zucchini in there. We'll send Nikki out there.
Absolutely, please do it.
We're gonna have to get a
There won't
refrigerator.
be any snacks left by the time he gets here, but at least I'll have my friend. You know.
Yeah. Sharing is caring, bro. Sharing is caring. But I feel bad. I know it's late for you. I don't want to keep you up any longer. But Chris, thank you. Your wife, your kids need anything while you're deployed, always, Facebook me. I mean, you got so many great friends, but I'm always here. We might not talk every day. I might not see you every day. I haven't seen you since the Italian feast at Mount Loretto, which was a couple
Yeah,
of
I
years
remember
ago.
that. How many years ago was that? It was a couple years ago, right?
It was, oh my God.
Like 2-3 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, it was a few years back. But you guys ever need anything? And while you're deployed, seriously, if you ever need anything, just reach out.
Only while you deploy. Once you're back, he doesn't want to hear from you.
Perfect.
Mike, I'm trying to be nice. And when you come home, let's go for a beer, a drink.
So yeah, when I'm turning 40 in July, so by the time I get back, I'll be throwing a little 40-year-old birthday bash.
I'm there.
Nice.
I'm there. Mike will probably still be home, scared of Corona, but
Yeah.
Wise.
Maybe me and you could video chat Mike when I get home when we're drinking.
Absolutely. Let me let you run, brother. Chris, thank you so much. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your
Thank you
service.
so much, guys.
Definitely.
I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for
Get him
joining
off the
us.
list.
I guess the term is watch your six.
Yeah, sure.
That's the term. I will.
He learned that in the video
Keep your
game.
head on a swivel.
I never heard that one. That's a new
Watch
one.
out for those camel spiders.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
Wait, can you go get one right now and bring it in and show it to us?
Oh,
absolutely not.
But we will donate $200 to the charity of your choice if you bring a camel spider in right now.
The comments are gonna start going up to 5.
last week, do you remember? You know what? You may remember Michael Graziuso.
Absolutely, yeah.
So Graziuso's partner. So Graziuso started. He's part of this. So Graziuso's partner is on the show with us every day. So Graziuso last week is walking on. I guess his house is on the water somewhere in Tottenville, and he's walking his dog. And sure enough, I'm like, I'll give you $100 if you jump in the water. He goes, I'm not jumping in the water. Everybody on the show threw it and we're like, you have $500, charity of your choice. Kid drops his pants and goes for a dip right over. Where's he? He's by Wolf Pond. Where's he?
Right, he's by Wolf's Pond. And the best part of that was he was walking back to his house with the dog with no pants, and he ran into someone. He's like, they just dared me to run in the water. That's why I have no pants
It's like
on.
I'm filming my TV show. I'm being interviewed for a TV show. They asked me to donate to charity to run in the water.
He's walking like this. I'm like, bro, you got to get deeper. You gotta get deeper. It's like, no, it's cold. It's cold. We had so much fun. That was probably one of the best $100 I ever spent in my life.
Yeah, that was good.
And that's it, brother. Thank you so much.
Thank
Stay
you.
safe, and love you, man. Stay safe out there.
Love
Bro.
you guys
Stay
too.
safe,
Thanks.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. So it's pretty cool. And tech, you talk about technology. I mean, there's after high school, I got focused with work. I'm just, grind, work. And, he joined the military. I mean, and sees think about what he said, people out there right now. And I'm, I wonder, starting to think of myself at 38 years old. I've been doing this for 20 years, 22 years DJing. And I'm like, is the entertainment business going to come back? It is. Why did I do this? Maybe I should have taken a career path as something a little bit more, secure. But then on the flip side, he's maybe 100 miles away. He may be 10,000 miles away. We can't say where he is. He didn't tell us where he is. I mean, we kind of read between the lines of what's going on in the world where he is. Also by the colors of his, uniform. If he was in a like green color, maybe he would be somewhere with a little bit more trees and that type of foliage. So obviously he's I got to fit in. But
is that real? You think do they really wear different color uniforms if they're
well, think about it. If we're with a conflict in the Middle East, they're not going to wear green camouflage. They got to wear tan camouflage. And if we're in the mountains, they're going to wear like the snow guy. They were in the so I would assume. So we kind of, read between the lines.
Well, you could pretty much tell by where camel spiders are. They only exist in a few places. I
don't know where they exist, right? He's got to get his pension in 2 years, so we'll leave that alone. Anyway, but you think about it, and, it's an amazing career, but, it's dangerous. But, again, we all have our things, right? He has our friend's ashes. What the hell's that?
I was playing with a fountain pen, and apparently it leaked all over me.
Sure about that?
That's the most interesting that's going to happen to an IT guy in Staten Island. He's got camel spiders and people trying to, take him out. Like, but
and I'm getting attacked by a Darth Vader fountain pen.
Unbelievable.
Those camel spiders.
Right?
I always wondered how real they were because that goes back years. Seeing that, I've seen that picture of that soldier with them, and there's articles. And I was like, there's no way there's an insect that big. And you research and you see it.
They're like a foot long.
That was two of them in that one picture. But then if you Google camel spider versus YouTube versus camel spider versus scorpion on YouTube, people like have them battle. And I
watched things like that on YouTube. Actually, on the Techie Geek YouTube page, a lot of things come up because I like clicked one video, so now they just show me all that stuff. So I always see it when I'm on the Techie Geek YouTube.
It's crazy. And those though you watch like the scorpion versus the camel spider, and you're like, oh my god, those are two creatures that I hate and would run from, and they are like just murdering each other. You know who used to protect me from scorpions?
Nicole.
My cat. When I lived in Arizona, a scorpion can't penetrate a cat's skin. So I used to find scorpions ripped apart throughout my house. Yeah, like a cat's skin is so thick that it's very hard for a scorpion to actually get into it. So my cat would have a paw on it and would be chewing it and ripping it in half. And that's how I would know I had scorpions, because I would find them around the house ripped in pieces.
That's so nasty. I'm so happy we don't live with those scorpions. My brother's girlfriend, who's from Texas, actually, the other day we were in my yard and my puppy attacked a bumblebee. So there was a bumblebee walking around the ground with like a broken wing. He kept trying to take off, and I felt bad. So my dad like walked over and stepped on it. But that just got the conversation started. And she was saying, do you guys have rattlesnakes out here? Do you have scorpions out here and all this stuff? And I was telling her, like, no, it's not that bad. We have like one centipedes, but
by next month we'll have murder hornets. But besides that, we're
actually,
okay.
I watched. What'd you say?
Hornets.
You can see them; they're real.
They're probably cicadas, and they're making a big deal out of them.
I watched the video of praying mantis eating a murder hornet. Was one of the videos. It was nuts. He like ate its head off while it was still alive, and the thing's still moving with half a head. It was crazy. But actually, what I did research about the murder hornets, if a hornet, like, they're not coming for us, they're coming for the bee's nests. if a hornet goes into a bee's nest, what they do is they'll swarm the hornet and they'll start vibrating so fast that they'll reach a body temperature of 117 degrees. The bumblebee's body temperature, 118 degrees, is when they die. A hornet is 115. So they swarm the hornet and they will get the hornet to basically melt from the inside out by vibrating on it and reaching a body temperature that gets it high enough.
Really?
So hopefully
That's
they'll
crazy.
do the job for us.
And like by next month we'll have great white shark birds that fly around.
Yeah, we'll have Sharknado.
You'll be going outside, they'll be just sharks. I've never watched that movie. That
Me
movie
neither.
looks so bad.
Who the hell wants to
Think
watch
they
that?
make 5 of them though?
Probably, and they're probably all worse than the next. Like Tara
You've
Reid
never
was
seen
like
that,
before, wasn't she?
Yeah, her and the guy from what was that movie he was from? Oh my god, he was like from a show. IMDb Sharknado. You've never seen that, right, Mas? That's definitely not your type of movie.
Imagine.
His name is Ian Ziering. What was he from? He was famous for 90210.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The blonde guy.
Yes. Yeah, he was in
Yeah, the blonde one.
Ian Ziering. Yeah, he was in Sharknadoes in 90210. Tara Reid. We were talking about this yesterday, or was that earlier? She used to be very pretty, like when she was in Van Wilder and stuff, and she did not age well.
She got a lot of bad work done.
Yes, I think that would probably be it. Tom Bangas. That was interesting. 117 degrees. Oh, did we tell Christina about the new date show we're doing with her?
No, we didn't. Excuse me.
We have a date show with Dave. What was the name? Tom, what's the name of the date show with Todd has all the notes, but he's not here. But we had a date show with Dave, and then it came up that we have to have another show with you.
Courting with Christina.
What was it?
I don't know. I just said courting with Christina.
I like it. There we go. We have the name. And then Moss had a show name, but I don't remember it. Again, Todd has it all written down somewhere. It was a very long name. Tom can't wait for your show. I think it might have actually been Tom's idea to have a show for you.
It's like the Bachelorette virtually.
Virtual Bachelorette. All right, we lost you, Moss.
No, I was just reading some crazy shit, but I lost my attention.
On Murder Hornets.
4:00 anyway.
Is it? Oh, it is. Hey, so when you mail something to
you never sent anything to a soldier abroad?
So I remember doing care packages probably back in 2000, probably right around you said 5 or 6. I remember that was like a whole big movement, send a soldier care package. I kind of remember doing it, but I remember doing it as a group. So I haven't done it on my own. You mail that right through the regular post office?
Yes. So
and do they charge you or is it free?
No, I think they charge you.
Well, hold on a second. There are certain organizations, if I remember correctly, when we were sending a lot, like the USO or whatever, like if you were sending something to a soldier, you would go to the post office and they had like a national account that they would pick up the bill sending. That was like their mission as an NFP probably.
Right.
We'll definitely, you mail it. But it's like when you're in an airport, you realize when you're in the Bahamas, and as soon as you go through customs, you're in America. That part of the airport, once that flag is there and the picture is on the wall, they charge regular mail. My aunt does a lot of Wounded Warriors. She would always send me. That was something that was part of her thing. She always used to do that. But
that's right. So we have Dating with Dave is one of our shows. The other show is Moss Handles Meat. Moss is going to go. He's going to go around to different failing sommeliers and help to watch them like a kitchen nightmare and revive their business.
That's a good idea. He should.
And then we have to decide on the other half of the different shows. I think that would be a great idea, Moss. Can we start filming you in Montebanos?
We can. The thing is that we are. They're doing some sprucing up, and they've been working 18, 19 hours a day. So they ordered some new cases, and They are waiting to be deemed essential so they can, do some
deemed essential to do construction, to do like work.
paint, some maintenance and stuff like that.
Yeah, like to bring people in to do it.
Yeah. So they're waiting to get that all done, and then once that's all done, we're gonna go live from there. And that is the alert. It is 4:02.
Well, who has a 4:02 alert?
4 o'clock.
Like, I would imagine you would say, "Hey, there's the alert. It's 4 o'clock." No, there's the alert. It's 4:02 p.m. All right, time to end this.
It says midday with Moss should be ending. An hour overdue. I got the alert. I don't know. From Outlook.
All right, so we are ending. We have there is Gotham After Dark, right? Where is Todd? Todd missed a good show. This is the type of show Todd likes to be a part of, and he didn't show up.
I forgot. Graz Yuso went to school with us, and he would know. Graz would know Chris Sada. Yeah.
See, the problem is you took Todd onto a 2 o'clock sales call, and that's it. We only could get him for so much a day.
He looked like shit, and he went to bed. He said he didn't feel good.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said he goes. I just thought I'm just shot. I'm beat up.
I just would like to. I would just like to say he was with Graz Yuso about 4 days ago exactly. The standard sign for symptoms to come on is between 2 to 5 days.
Okay. Todd the Phantom. Frank Wilkinson.
Frank is here.
So
Todd the Phantom.
Did you see Frank and Naz broadcast from outside the other day? I thought that was really cool.
Where they? I did not actually catch them. Where they do it? Parking lot.
I don't know if they were on Highland Boulevard or the side lot, but it was nights out. They were outside, social distancing in the fresh air. Very cool.
If I knew they were doing that, I would have been able to finally get on the show. I would have just ran up and behind them.
Would have been cool.
All right, so I think we are ending this show. It's 4:04. You have anything you want to say goodbye, Moss?
No, I want to thank Chris. I want to thank all of our, military men and women, that protect our country, both home and abroad. It's a thankless job. And, people don't realize, you don't realize, like, these people, you've given up so much. And, you guys, there's an international a global pandemic going on, and he can't even be home with his wife and children. He's somewhere in the world protecting our freedom.
Yep. Have to be super grateful for that.
Yeah. And we should all be thankful. And that's why, hate our president, love our president, this and that. There are people out there, that
our freedom is thanks to the military.
Absolutely. 100%.
100. Tomorrow we have Jennifer Finch still joining us from the Nicotra.
Jennifer Finch should be entering from the Nicotra group. I have to call her. That was the email I just got about a client at the hotel. So I have to ask her a question, and I'm going to confirm tomorrow.
And what about, I know originally today, Rob Capolongo from Michael's Cause was scheduled.
Yeah, Chris was supposed to come on yesterday, and he sent me a text, and it was probably during Gotham After Dark. It was the night I fell asleep Tuesday night when I didn't come on, and he sent me a text like, "Yo, bro, I can't do tomorrow. I'm going
whatever.
Going on a mission." So I was like, "All right." He goes, "I'm sorry." I'm like, "Can you do Thursday?" And I started moving, and that's when I texted Mike Kirshner. Like, I have a list of people that I've reached out to. They're like, "Sure, let me know when you want to come on." And I have other people like, "I can only do Tuesdays. I can only do Thursdays."
So will Rob be joining us next week?
Rob should be joining us next week.
Okay. So tomorrow on Breakfast with Bloomy, we have Rob Nixon.
Oh, very nice.
Will be joining us again. And then for Midday with Moss, we will as the schedule says, we will have Jennifer Finch from the Nicotra group. Gotham After Dark tonight. I have no clue who's on because Todd keeps that a secret, and to like 9:45 p.m. when we get the email to give them the code. So no clue. Think there's a show. Todd might be there. It's Thursday. Todd will definitely not be there. It's going to be a Mike show. All right. We will see you all tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. And again, thanks to all the military, armed forces for everything you do for us. That was a good interview. Thank you for bringing him in.
Yep, definitely.